Howdy, y'all. It's Reese, aka Bearman Prime, on this June 30th. Welcome back to my Read the Bible in a Year series. Thank you again for joining me. God bless you all. Card in the top right hand corner for the rest of the playlist. And please hit the like button, subscribe button, and notification bell if you're enjoying this and want to stay caught up. Really do appreciate it. So we are in the middle of Jesus giving the Sermon on the Mount, the sermon that he gave on the Mount of Olives to the multitude of Jews there in Israel and Judah, teaching them about God's kingdom and how they should be behaving and how they should be following the law, etc., etc. We saw yesterday how Jesus taught them about anger and about sexual sin, and also that he has come not to destroy the law, but to fulfill the law. And we're going to continue on with his sermon as we jump back into Matthew chapter 5. Pick it up in verse 31 today. Jesus says, "It was also said, any man who divorces his wife must give her a written notice of divorce. But I tell you that any man who divorces his wife, except for the problem of sexual sin, is causing his wife to be guilty of adultery. And whoever marries a divorced woman is guilty of adultery." Verse 33. "You have heard that it was said to our people long ago, when you make a vow, you must not break your promise. Keep the vows that you make to the Lord. But I tell you, when you make a promise, don't try to make it stronger with a vow. Don't make a vow using the name of heaven, because heaven is God's throne. Don't make a vow using the name of the earth, because the earth belongs to him. Don't make a vow using the name of Jerusalem, because it also belongs to him, the great king. And don't even say that your own head is proof that you will keep your promise. You cannot make one hair on your head white or black. Say only yes if you mean yes, and say only no if you mean no. If you say more than that, it is from the evil one." Verse 38. "You have heard that it was said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But I tell you, don't fight back against someone who wants to do harm to you. If they hit you on the right cheek, let them hit the other cheek too. If anyone wants to sue you in court and take your shirt, let them have your coat too. If a soldier forces you to walk with him 1 mile, go with him 2. Give to anyone who asks you for something. Don't refuse to give to anyone who wants to borrow from you." Verse 43. "You have heard that it was said, love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I tell you, love your enemies. Pray for those who treat you badly. If you do this, you will be children who are truly like your Father in heaven. He lets the sun rise for all people, whether they are good or bad. He sends rain to those who do right and to those who do wrong. If you love only those who love you, why should you get a reward for that? Even the tax collectors do that. And if you are nice only to your friends, you are no better than anyone else. Even the people who don't know God are nice to their friends. What I'm saying is that you must be perfect, just as your Father in heaven is perfect." All right, so I said this yesterday, and I'm going to repeat it again several times throughout as we continue on through the Sermon on the Mount. Jesus is addressing the nation of Israel, okay? Everything he is referring to the law of Moses, right? Now, as church-age believers, as Gentiles, we do not fall under the law of Moses. We do not have to follow the law of Moses. That is the Jewish law, the law of Israel. Okay? We are under God's grace. Okay? And that'll become a little bit more apparent why that is later on after we get through Jesus' earthly ministry. But right now, before Jesus' death and burial and resurrection, he's still dealing with the nation of Israel exclusively, not the whole world. So when he's talking about a lot of this stuff, it's really focused on Israel. So you have to look at it in that context, okay? So as we step through it real quick, the first section, he was talking about divorce, where, it was said in the law that any man who divorces his wife must give her a written notice, right? Now, Jesus is saying is that you shouldn't be divorcing your wife for any reason except for sexual sin. If your wife cheats on you, then it's okay. because they've already committed adultery with someone else. But for any other reason, you're not supposed to divorce your wife. Now, in this modern age, we all know that's already out the window. But under Jewish law, the only permissible reason for divorcing someone is because of sexual sin, because of infidelity. Okay. And then he talks about making promises. And he basically says that you shouldn't swear an oath or a vow when you make a promise to someone. Okay. Don't swear by the name of God. I swear in the name of God, blah, 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 or anything like that. He just says, say yes or no and leave it at that. Anything else, and you're just bluster. Okay. It's from the evil one. It's prideful. Okay. Then he talks about fighting back. Now, this one's a little bit harder to wrap around because it sounds like he's saying that if someone wants to hurt you, like, if they want to fight you, you should fight back, okay? Now, I don't think, and this is Bearman talking here, not Jesus. This is Bearman. I don't think he means in terms of self-defense. If someone is attacking you for, if they're robbing you or if they're breaking into your house, I believe Jesus would be okay with you defending yourself and your family if that's the case. Now, if you're in a fight with someone over a disagreement, if you get into an argument and it goes so poorly that you go to the fisticuffs, then that's a different situation. I think that's where Jesus is getting at here. He's talking about interpersonal relationships. So if you get into a fight with someone over something, something that you've been talking about, or you hold something against someone, then you're not supposed to fight back. Okay, you don't, the eye for eye, tooth for a tooth. The problem with that is that everyone goes blind, right? And then finally, the last part here: love your enemies. So this one's a little bit easier to reconcile, and that he's basically saying kill them with kindness. Your enemies won't want to necessarily hurt you as much if you're always doing good to them. Okay. And that's what Jesus wants us to do for everyone, is to love everyone, even if we don't agree with them. And that is something that the world cannot reconcile right now as of this recording. Everyone is on polar opposites of each other. There's no one in the middle that tries to bridge the gap and just, kind of love everybody. You're either, on the side for or you're on the side against. You're either right or left. You're good or bad. There's no middle ground. So that is what we as followers of Jesus should try to do, is love everyone the same way, regardless of their beliefs, of our beliefs, of their thoughts and actions, etc., etc. Love them as we would love ourselves, right? All right, well, that's all for today. We'll pick it up there tomorrow. Thank you again for joining me. I sure do appreciate it. I'll see y'all tomorrow.